Maryland Real Estate Exam Mock Exam. Question 1. A practice question describes the duty of the buyer's Maryland licensee in a covered residential sale. Which response is best? Option A. Deliver the disclosure or disclaimer on or before contract formation. Option B. No duty to disclose a death or felony occurrence as a property defect. Option C. Inform the seller of disclosure or disclaimer obligations. Option D. Inform the buyer of statutory disclosure rights. The correct answer is option D. Inform the buyer of statutory disclosure rights. The licensee should also direct technical property questions to qualified inspectors or other experts. The representative explains the purchaser's right to receive the required seller form and acknowledgement. Performing the statutory informational duty limits additional responsibility under that disclosure section. Question 2. During a financing review, which principle is illustrated by the Maryland definition of a latent defect for residential disclosure purposes? Option A. A hidden material condition posing a direct health or safety threat. Option B. Inform the buyer of statutory disclosure rights. Option C. Inform the seller of disclosure or disclaimer obligations. Option D. Deliver the disclosure or disclaimer on or before contract formation. The correct answer is option A. A hidden material condition posing a direct health or safety threat. The condition is not one a careful visual inspection would reasonably reveal. A seller choosing the disclaimer route must still disclose known qualifying latent defects. Its significance arises from the direct danger to a purchaser or occupant. Question 3. Which answer states the concept associated with the method a Maryland listing-side licensee uses to satisfy disclosure duties while holding property open to the public? Option A. Present written offers and counteroffers promptly. Option B. Display the commission open-house notice conspicuously. Option C. Disclose representation through the medium of first contact. Option D. Explain the differences among Maryland agency roles. The correct answer is option B. Display the commission open-house notice conspicuously. A private scheduled meeting may trigger different written disclosure steps. The official notice informs visitors that the licensee present represents the seller or lessor. It must remain visible and use the commission-prescribed form rather than an altered substitute. Stressed about your AccuPlacer? We can take AccuPlacer for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. A salesperson handling a townhouse in Salisbury must identify the maximum administrative monetary penalty Maryland may impose under the cited disciplinary section. Which choice is correct? Option A. Disclose known or reasonably knowable material facts. Option B. Verify a recommended home-improvement contractor's license annually. Option C. A penalty of up to $5,000 per violation. Option D. Avoid prizes, lotteries, or contests used to influence a property sale. The correct answer is option C. A penalty of up to $5,000 per violation. The fine may be imposed instead of or in addition to reprimand, suspension, or revocation. Separate violations can create separate penalty exposure. The Commission considers seriousness, harm, good faith, and prior violations when setting an amount. Question 5. During a lease negotiation for a vacant parcel in Easton, FARA needs to identify the rule described as the Maryland licensee who may serve as the dual agent in an authorized intra-company transaction. Which answer applies? Option A. Assign separate intra-company agents to the buyer and seller. Option B. Written informed consent of all parties. Option C. Disclose offered financial bonuses to each party. Option D. The broker or designated branch office manager. The correct answer is option D. The broker or designated branch office manager. Confidential information remains protected except when disclosure is legally required. The dual agent manages the brokerage conflict and assigns separate intra-company representatives. An affiliated salesperson cannot simply appoint themselves to represent both sides. Question 6. A buyer is reviewing a single-family home in Annapolis. Which term describes a Maryland duty owed in residential brokerage relationships? Option A. Present written offers and counteroffers promptly. Option B. Disclose representation through the medium of first contact. Option C. Treat every party fairly and honestly. Option D. Display the commission open-house notice conspicuously. The correct answer is option A. Present written offers and counteroffers promptly. The licensee transmits written proposals in a timely manner even when the property is already subject to a contract. The client, not the licensee, decides how to respond unless lawful authority provides otherwise. Delaying an offer to influence compensation or outcome can breach professional duties. Question 7. At a title examination, a Maryland exam candidate encounters the following description: the general Maryland rule for a salesperson or associate broker receiving payment for brokerage services. Which concept is being tested? Option A, accept payment directly from any client. Option B, accept compensation only through the affiliated broker. Option C, accept payment from a settlement vendor. Option D, accept payment from an unlicensed referral source. The correct answer is option B, accept compensation only through the affiliated broker. Direct payment from a client, vendor, or other person can violate the license relationship. The supervising brokerage controls compensation and transaction accounting. Statutory exceptions must be applied narrowly and documented. Question 8. Wendy is assisting with a waterfront parcel transaction in College Park. Which principle applies when the facts involve the operating limitation placed on a Maryland real estate salesperson? Option A, provide services independently of a broker. Option B, work for several brokers without notice. Option C, act only on behalf of the affiliated broker. Option D, receive direct brokerage compensation from clients. The correct answer is option C, act only on behalf of the affiliated broker. A salesperson's brokerage services are performed through the supervising broker. Independent activity outside that relationship can violate licensing law. The broker is responsible for reasonable and adequate supervision of affiliated licensees. Are you looking for AccuPlacer actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access AccuPlacer study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get AccuPlacer answer key today. Question 9. Which answer most accurately identifies the authority needed for a Maryland broker to invest trust money in a real estate transaction? Option A, keep brokerage and client money separate. Option B, keep trust money until an authorized disposition occurs. Option C, provide notice to both interested parties before a good-faith distribution. Option D, written instructions or written agreement of the interested parties. The correct answer is option D, written instructions or written agreement of the interested parties. Records must remain available for inspection and accounting. The broker may not place client money in an investment based on unilateral judgment. Written direction identifies the permitted account or investment arrangement. Question 10. A question arising during property-management audit concerns the required relationship a Maryland salesperson applicant must secure before the license is granted. Which choice gives the best classification? Option A, obtain a broker commitment for affiliation. Option B, open an independent office immediately. Option C, affiliate only after the first transaction. Option D, obtain a property-manager certificate instead. The correct answer is option A, obtain a broker commitment for affiliation. The commitment confirms that the applicant will become affiliated when the license is issued. The applicant may not operate independently as a broker. A salesperson provides brokerage services on behalf of a licensed real estate broker. Question 11. While analyzing a mixed-use property, Owen must apply the concept involving the Maryland requirement when a licensee advertises the sale, rent, or purchase of real property. Which answer should be selected? Option A, include at least one licensee team member's name. Option B, disclose the advertiser's licensed status and broker relationship. Option C, avoid the words real estate or real estate brokerage in the team name. Option D, include the licensed brokerage name conspicuously. The correct answer is option B, disclose the advertiser's licensed status and broker relationship. Failure to provide the information can be grounds for discipline. A salesperson or associate broker must also identify the broker on whose behalf the advertisement is made. The public should know that the advertiser is acting as a licensed professional. Question 12. Which real estate term is defined by the usual Maryland timing for a covered seller's residential property form in the settlement preparation described? Option A, a hidden material condition posing a direct health or safety threat. Option B, inform the seller of disclosure or disclaimer obligations. Option C, deliver the disclosure or disclaimer on or before contract formation. Option D, inform the buyer of statutory disclosure rights. The correct answer is option C, deliver the disclosure or disclaimer on or before contract formation. The buyer should receive the information before becoming bound under the contract. The purchaser dates and signs an acknowledgement of receipt. Late delivery can create statutory termination rights subject to deadlines and exceptions. Question 13. In a transaction involving a small apartment building, which rule controls when there is the representation structure required in a Maryland dual-agency transaction? Option A. Do not reveal a client's negotiating limits without authorization. Option B. The broker or designated branch office manager. Option C. Disclose offered financial bonuses to each party. Option D. Assign separate intra-company agents to the buyer and seller. The correct answer is option D. Assign separate intra-company agents to the buyer and seller. Each assigned representative provides the services ordinarily owed to that client, including negotiation advice. Different affiliated licensees advocate for the opposing clients within the same brokerage. The dual agent cannot simultaneously serve as either client's intra-company agent. Question 14. A property manager asks about the Maryland treatment of specified psychologically stigmatizing events. Which answer provides the legally accurate concept? Option A. No duty to disclose a death or felony occurrence as a property defect. Option B. Inform the seller of disclosure or disclaimer obligations. Option C. A hidden material condition posing a direct health or safety threat. Option D. Inform the buyer of statutory disclosure rights. The correct answer is option A. No duty to disclose a death or felony occurrence as a property defect. A homicide, suicide, accidental or natural death, or felony occurrence is not classified as a material property fact under the cited rule. Licensees should answer lawful questions carefully without misrepresentation or unlawful discrimination. The law also protects non-disclosure of specified health-status information about an owner or occupant. Question 15. Victor encounters a required subject in the Maryland written representation disclosure during a marketing review. Which principle should guide the analysis? Option A. Display the commission open-house notice conspicuously. Option B. Explain the differences among Maryland agency roles. Option C. No later than the first scheduled face-to-face contact. Option D. Treat every party fairly and honestly. The correct answer is option B. Explain the differences among Maryland agency roles. Understanding the roles supports informed decisions about entering a brokerage agreement. Consumers must be able to distinguish seller agency, buyer agency, subagency, dual agency, and intra-company representation. The disclosure also describes fairness, confidentiality, material-fact, and offer-presentation duties. Question 16. Which choice best matches the description the Maryland Ethical Standard for Real Estate Advertising? Option A. Include the licensed brokerage name conspicuously. Option B. Avoid the words real estate or real estate brokerage in the team name. Option C. Present a true and non-misleading picture. Option D. Show the broker or branch manager telephone number. The correct answer is option C. Present a true and non-misleading picture. Material limitations should not be hidden in a way that creates a false impression. The standard applies to digital, print, telephone, and other consumer communications. Claims about property, services, pricing, and credentials must be accurate and supportable. Question 17. During review of a duplex in Rockville, the parties discuss the authorization required before a Maryland broker maintains an additional branch location. Which term applies? Option A. A separate salesperson license. Option B. A local occupancy permit only. Option C. A new business entity charter. Option D. A branch office certificate. The correct answer is option D. A branch office certificate. Opening the location without the required authorization violates the licensing framework. Each branch must operate under the broker's license and supervision structure. The broker must obtain the certificate and identify the individual appointed to manage the office. Question 18. An exam scenario presents the Maryland duty when a broker offers affiliated licensees bonuses for selling or leasing brokerage-listed property. Which answer is most accurate? Option A. Disclose offered financial bonuses to each party. Option B. Written informed consent of all parties. Option C. The broker or designated branch office manager. Option D. Assign separate intra-company agents to the buyer and seller. The correct answer is option A. Disclose offered financial bonuses to each party. The disclosure alerts clients to a compensation incentive that could influence recommendations. Transparency allows the parties to evaluate the licensee's advice with full knowledge of the conflict. The bonus does not eliminate the duty to act in the client's interests.
Stressed about your FCLE? We can take FCLE for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass in payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 19. A licensee preparing for a title examination must recognize the ethics instruction included in Maryland salesperson pre-licensing education. Which concept does this describe? Option A, complete 1 hour of ethics. Option B, complete 3 hours of approved real estate ethics. Option C, complete 5 hours of appraisal law. Option D, complete ethics only after licensure. The correct answer is option B, complete 3 hours of approved real estate ethics. It addresses professional conduct in addition to substantive real estate principles. The ethics component is part of the approved education required before licensure. The applicant must still complete the remainder of the approved curriculum. Question 20. Which answer correctly classifies a situation involving the Maryland advertising requirement when a salesperson or associate broker uses an individual phone number or email address? Option A, include at least one licensee team member's name. Option B, include the licensed brokerage name conspicuously. Option C, show the broker or branch manager telephone number. Option D, present a true and non-misleading picture. The correct answer is option C, show the broker or branch manager telephone number. The required broker-level contact information makes the supervisory connection clear. A personal contact detail cannot appear alone in a manner that suggests independent practice. The rule applies to consumer-directed promotion across communication media. Question 21. At an inspection period in Cambridge, Gavin explains the broker's basic Maryland duty while holding transaction funds. Which real estate principle is involved? Option A, written instructions or written agreement of the interested parties. Option B, keep brokerage and client money separate. Option C, provide notice to both interested parties before a good-faith distribution. Option D, keep trust money until an authorized disposition occurs. The correct answer is option D, keep trust money until an authorized disposition occurs. The contract and governing law determine the permitted disposition. The money remains protected until settlement, termination, proper written instructions, a court order, or another authorized statutory distribution. A broker cannot release disputed funds merely because one party demands them. Question 22. A transaction file for an office building raises an issue involving the Maryland passing standard for the national and state examination components. Which answer best resolves the classification? Option A, earn at least 70% on each portion. Option B, earn 60% on each portion. Option C, earn 75% as a combined average. Option D, earn 80% on the state portion only. The correct answer is option A, earn at least 70% on each portion. Strong performance on one portion cannot offset a failing result on the other. Candidates should prepare for both national principles and Maryland-specific law. The minimum score applies independently to each examination part. Question 23. Which concept should a seller apply to facts involving the Maryland contract requirement concerning title and settlement services? Option A, do not require the buyer to use a particular settlement-service provider. Option B, provide the required buyer selection notice in the contract. Option C, subagent. Option D, disclose offered financial bonuses to each party. The correct answer is option B, provide the required buyer selection notice in the contract. The protection promotes competition and prevents coercive referrals. Omitting the language can expose the licensee to discipline. The notice informs the purchaser that qualifying providers may be selected by the buyer. Question 24. Yasmin is studying a rule concerning the minimum age qualification for a Maryland real estate salesperson applicant. Which term should be chosen? Option A, at least 16 years old. Option B, at least 19 years old. Option C, at least 18 years old. Option D, at least 21 years old. The correct answer is option C, at least 18 years old. Maryland requires a salesperson applicant to have reached 18 years of age. The applicant must also satisfy education, examination, character, and broker-affiliation requirements. Age alone does not authorize brokerage activity before the license is issued. Question 25. When a historic residence transaction involves the record-retention period for documents connected with a completed Maryland real estate transaction, which answer identifies the controlling concept? Option A, 3 years after closing. Option B, 5 years after license renewal. Option C, until the next commission audit. Option D, 5 years after closing. The correct answer is option D, 5 years after closing. Electronic signatures and documents are included within the records that must be preserved. Transaction documents must remain available for the statutory 5-year period. The period begins on the closing date for a completed transaction.